What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back. We are about to get into some things. This is a recap. This is a recap of Chrisean and Blueface, Crazy in Love, Season 1, Episode 5. If you're looking for the actual episode, you're not going to find it here. So don't come in my comments talking about where's the episode. Go to the Zeus Network app and you can check out the full episode. Now, I'm going to give this episode a 5. I almost gave it a 4, but I said, you know what? I'll give it a 5 because we had conflict and we had resolution. But of course, there's some things that I was kind of looking at side-eye, like why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? I'll get into all that. I'll tell you why. But let's just start out with the episode, how it started. And this episode starts with traditional Blueface and Chrisean fashion. Chrisean asks Blue right off the bat, "Are you ready to fuck?" As he's rolling a blunt in the kitchen. I mean, do we expect any less from this couple now? They have no filter. They have no filter. I mean, like I've said on previous videos, this is coming from the two who literally go live while they fucking. Literally go live while she getting her pussy ate from the back. Okay? Now, Blue brings up that Rock got a face tattoo. He's like, "Oh, you got a face tattoo. You hard now. You hard now." And I noticed that she's got like Jonathan right here. Now that's his government name. Not only does she have Jonathan written right there, she's also got his face tattooed right here. And I'm like, girl, like I've heard of people getting their boyfriend's name, ex's name, whatever, tattooed on them. It's pretty common. But I've never heard of someone getting their name tattooed on their face, then a picture of the person tattooed on their neck. I mean, you might as well be this boy's property at this point. Like, it literally gives borderline obsession vibes. Like, it literally gives the vibes that if Blue ever tries to break up with her, she's gonna be on some crazy shit outside your window. That type of shit. Like, I don't care how much I love a dude. I don't care how good the dick is, how good he putting it down, pound town. I don't care. I ain't tattooing your motherfucking name or face. You know what? I ain't gonna say name. Because, you know, sometimes the dick just be too good. Sometimes the booty be too good. And you just, you know, you be crazy in love. But to get their face tattooed, like, that's just, like, you got 2 tattoos of him, girl. 2. His name and his face. Like, does he have you tattooed on him? Maybe he does. Somebody call me out on it. Does he have her tattooed on him? That's what I want to know. Because it's giving delusion. Delusion, okay? Now, Blue asks Chrisean if she's ready to close this chapter of the mom and sister beef. And Chrisean says, "So we're going to be back family after this? If we squash the beef, are we going to all be back family?" And he says, "Hell no." So at that moment, I'm like, what has happened between this family, between these people, to where there's so much toxicity to where he doesn't even want them to be family anymore? Like, what beef is going on? Which we find out in the episode what happened. And apparently earlier in the year, which was last year, earlier in 2022, Chrisean put her hands on Blueface's mother. Now, whether, I'm pretty sure Chrisean threw the first blow, and ever since that's happened, Blueface's brother, sister, and mom have been livid at her. And not only have they been livid at Chrisean, pissed at her, they've been pissed at Blueface because they feel like he has not stepped up and taken up for his mother and said, "Look, you don't put your hands on my mom. I don't care if you're my girlfriend, you know, whatever, whatever." So that's where a lot of this beef stems from. We're going to get into that as well. And I'm just like, damn, are we fighting parents over here? Like, I've been in lots of fights with exes. Well, I can't say lots, but I've been in fights with exes, physical fights. I've never, ever thought about laying my hand on a boyfriend or an ex-boyfriend's mother or father. Where did they do that at? Like, we seen, which with Blueface, we seen Chrisean's dad lay hands first. So I have to give him that. Blue has never laid his hands on Chrisean's family first, right? We saw a few episodes ago where her father punched Blueface right in the face. But Chrisean laid her hands on the mother first, apparently. And I'm just like, y'all gotta have some restraint here. Like, you don't think about when you get ready to lay your hands on this woman that this is your future mother-in-law, that she's gonna potentially be in your life for a long fucking time if y'all stay together. Like, that's what I would be thinking of. I'm not trying to ruin this relationship with my only mother-in-law, despite what we argue about, no matter what we argue about. Do y'all know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? It just seems like both of their families don't like either of them for each other. But if they're, I mean, they see what we see. They see the blogs, they see the shade room posts, and not only that, they're getting first hand encounters with them. So I can only imagine if I was a mother to Blueface or Chrisean, I wouldn't really want them to be together either. However, when you're a parent, you have to learn when to sometimes step back. Sometimes you have to learn as a parent what your boundaries are, even though you want to protect your child and you want to give your 2 cents. Because one thing I've learned is when someone's in a domestic situation, whether it's domestic violence, whether it's, verbal abuse, whatever the situation may be, when a family member, whether that's mother, sister, brother, father, whatever, tries to come in and intervene, it makes that said person want to retreat from you. They don't want to come around you as much, because when all is said and done and the fights are over, the next day they're making up. The couple is making up, but the family is still mad. You see what I'm saying? So sometimes we have to, as couples, and sometimes as the people on the outside of relationships, know where our boundaries are and know when to shut up and when to put up, you know? Now, one interesting thing I noticed was Chrisean said her and Blue's mom got into it because it started over Blueface's mom wanting him to buy her a house. And Chrisean says it started because she came to me wanting to get me to convince you to buy her a house. Now, I would have assumed that he already bought his mama a house. You know, isn't that one of the first things you do when you make it big? You buy your mama and daddy a house and a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't that what you do? So that was kind of telling to me. I'm like, okay, why didn't he buy his mom a house? Why is she having to ask him to buy her a house? Do they have unresolved issues from the past? Does he have issues with his mother to where he doesn't want to buy her a house? Or is he just being stingy, doesn't want to do it, and he's letting Chrisean get in his ear? Or there's also the theory that maybe he just doesn't have the money. Like I said, that music ain't sticking like it used to. He had one hit that we know of. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Bust Down Tatiana. We all know that. But that hit ain't gonna pay the bills for the rest of your life. That hit song ain't gonna buy homes for everybody in the family. And two, he lives in LA. The LA lifestyle is very expensive. He's trying to maintain his lifestyle and his bills while he's living up in the Beverly Hills home that he's got, and the cars. Y'all know there's a lot that goes into that Hollywood lifestyle. It's expensive. It's expensive. I mean, we talking about $5, $6, $7, $8 gallon gasoline out there. Now a meeting is arranged with Blue, Chrisean, Blue's mother, Blueface's sister, and Blueface's brother. So we got Blue and Chrisean meeting up with Blue's family, mother, sister, brother. And let me just say this. I took a note for this because I just had to say it. But Blueface has a beautiful family. Okay? Like, did y'all think that too? Like, I was just looking at his entire family, because even him, he's handsome. Yeah, he got a little bit of skin issues. It's human. People have skin issues. I ain't knocking him for it, even though I told him to get a Lumi spa in one of the episodes. He has a beautiful family. Mother, gorgeous. Sister, gorgeous. Loved the high pony, loved the boots, loved the thickness, loved it all. Brother, handsome. He could get it all day long. I'm just like, wow, they have a really beautiful family. It sucks that they're having these issues that they do, because I think Blue could have his own reality show with his family. solo. You know, you could take Chrisean out of the picture and we could produce a good show with Blue and his family. They've got the personalities. And I'm sure he's got a big enough family to make a cast, you know? Now, I will say this. The family came in hot off the bat. Did y'all notice that? Maybe it was editing, but like as soon as they came in, the sister was like, all right, let's clear the air. You know, Blue and Chrisean were trying to have small talk. Even Chrisean at one point said, should we get some food first? But the sister was like, no, let's clear the air. Let's go ahead and just air it all out. So I'm looking at that and I'm like, okay, the family was probably in the car on the plane already plotting what they were going to do. When we walk in, we're going to say this, we're going to do this. You know, no he said, she said, small talk. We're going straight to the meat of the matter. Because it was just like instant rah, you know, like they just instantly went at it and it just didn't make sense. And I'm like, did y'all get pissed before you walked in? Which I get it. The brother and the sister are mainly upset because this girl that my brother is dating put her hands on my mother and now I'm in front of her. So I get that. I understand why they're so frustrated and upset. However, like we got to come in a little more humble. We got to come in. And you can't tell anybody how to react to those kind of situations. But I feel like there's been such a big gap in between from when she hit the mother to where they are now. Like, let's work it out. But then again, I think about it and I'm like, if my brother's girl hit my mom, when I seen her, it'd probably be on site too. Not physically, but it's going to be on site where I'm going, you know, go the fuck off on this bitch. Now, had it been a male that hit her, in my situation that hit my mother, yes, it's on site when I see you, ho. But now granted, I don't know the history. I don't know what's went down. We don't know everything. We're getting this much of a situation that's this big. So we really don't know the optics of everything. Now apparently Chrisean gave the mother a black eye. I have in my notes that the sister said Chrisean gave their mother a black eye. So she says, Blue's sister says, you know, we kept saying she put hands on mommy, John. You know, we kept saying that to you, John. She put hands on mommy. John is Blueface. His government name is Jonathan. Blue says his mom came at Chrisean and ran out, like charged towards her. But the sister's argument is, well, mom is 50. Blue's argument is, hey, mom came at Chrisean, charging at her first. Came out the door at her. But the sister is saying, this is a 50-year-old woman. Now, this is where I had to kind of take Chrisean's side on this one. Because if it really went down that way, if it really went down how the sister said, and nobody ever interjected and said that wasn't true, so I'm assuming this is how it went down. If my partner's mother or father is charging at me, I'm sorry. Like, if I feel like I'm a threat, if I feel like I'm being threatened, if I feel like my personal space is being threatened and I'm about to be hit, it's on. You know, it's on, and I'm going to defend myself. I don't care if you're 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 50, 92, whatever your age is. If you come at me, the first reaction is fight or flight, right? And I'm going, come right on. Right in motherfucking face. No. So I kind of understand where Chrisean is coming from in that instance, because when you first hear them talk about it, it seems like they were just having a verbal altercation and Chrisean just punched the mother in the eye. But that doesn't seem like it's the case. It seems like Chrisean charged at the mother first. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Do y'all think Chrisean is at fault? Or do you feel like the mother was at fault? Be honest with me here, like non-biased. Do you think regardless that the mom charged at Chrisean, she's an elder and she shouldn't have, you know, had hands laid on her? Or do you not blame Chrisean in that situation? I'm curious to see what y'all have to say about that one. Now, the brother is standing up and he's getting louder and he's getting louder and he's doing all this, he's doing all that. And I'm like, see, this is where things go left, because not to defend Chrisean and Blueface, but I'm gonna have to defend them here. They came in humble. They came in, let's talk about this. What, let's work through these issues. But brother and sister were hot. They were on 10. Rightfully so. I understand you're upset, so I have to give them that pass. It would be different if they came in upset over a rumor or over some shit talking, but their mother was hit. Their mother got a black eye, so I get they're coming in hot. But it's not helping just to come in screaming and yelling. If you want to come in and fight, come in and fight. Come in and fight. Do that. Don't come in with the intentions to have a conversation and then start getting louder and louder and louder. Now, did y'all see the security? When they started getting loud, security kind of like, the security for Zeus, they know what's up. They've been doing this for some years now. They work with some of the craziest motherfucking personalities out there. So when the brother starts getting mad, security runs over there and he gets like in a stance where he's like this. Like he's getting ready to play football. He's finna tackle somebody. I'm like, damn, like these security, they got PTSD, I'm sure. So they just stay on guard. Like they stay ready to, they ready. Now, a lot of their anger towards, like I said earlier, towards Blue comes from Blue not defending. And I feel like, Blue, you can defend your mother while also being on your girl's side, but at the same time teaching her a lesson. Like you could have still defended your mother and checked your girl at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no need for you to, well, let's look at it this way. From his perspective, Blue says that the mother charged at her first. So if you're looking at it from his perspective, I guess he thinks his mother doesn't need defense. His mother doesn't need defending. Because I'm just trying to put myself in those shoes, and I see my mother charge at my boyfriend or my girlfriend, whatever the case may be. Like, how would you handle that? How would you handle it at home if your partner and your parent got into it, your partner and your mother got into it, and they swung on them? How would you feel? But you got to keep in mind, your mother or your parent charges at your boyfriend or girlfriend first. Like walks out towards them, has this hostility around them. It almost seems like, because when somebody's coming at you, whether it's a gentle approach or whether it's an aggressive approach, which one is it? And then whether I need to fight, flight, what are we doing here? Now, the mother says she tells Blue, we've never had an argument before. What is going on here? You and I have never had an argument before, which I thought was very telling as well, because I do think there's a lot of factors at play here. Yes, it's his relationship causing a lot of the issues, but something also tells me that money is also coming into play here. Because my thing is, if Blueface wasn't a rapper and didn't have all this money, if he has a lot of money, I'm assuming he does. If he wasn't a rapper, would they even be having this conversation, this situation? Would there be this hostility, drama, and fighting? I don't think so. I really don't. Because their brother, Blueface, who has some, who's got this money, is probably not doing things like he used to do. He probably ain't giving them money like he used to, if he did. So it makes me wonder, like, is a lot of this anger coming from brother went to California with his new girlfriend, he ain't talking to us no more, and he ain't really doing for us no more, he's doing for her? Is it, y'all come on now. Let's keep it real and think about it. Put y'all stuff in that shoes and your brother gets famous and big and goes off, and now he's stuck up this girl's ass and he ain't really paying no attention to you, but you back in Ohio struggling, working a 9 to 5. You're going to have a little bit of resentment too, right? Right? I'd have a little bit of resentment. Like, yeah, bro, go live your life. Be with your girl. Do your thing. Live your dream. But hey, you balling. Cut me off a little bit over here so I can live good too, because I would do it for my brother. Just saying. Now, I can tell from Blueface's brother's energy that it just seems like he came to lay hands. He was ready to fight. He wanted to fight his brother. I think he was really pissed at his brother. He felt betrayed by his brother, and he felt that no matter if this is your girlfriend or not, she put her hands on our mother, and you ain't do shit about it. And if the money is a problem, it's just brewing underneath all that, if that makes sense. So the brother says, "I'll beat you the fuck up. I'll beat you the fuck up." And that's when Blueface stands up. When he stands up, the brother stands up. They go at one another. And it's sad at that moment, which I'm going to put the picture up here, of the mother. When they start fighting, look at the mother's reaction right away. You can just see the horror in her face. You see the pain in her face. She doesn't want to see her children arguing. She doesn't want to see her children physically fighting like this, especially on TV. You know, you can tell it's hurtful for her. You know, Blueface's mother has been in the blogs a lot. She's had a lot said about her. A lot of people think she's an opportunist. A lot of people think she's a clout chaser. But there's one thing that y'all can't tell me that you can't tell me this woman doesn't love her children. I really feel like she loves her kids. And I feel like they're all just kind of caught up in the whirlwind that is Blueface's career and the fame and the TV show and Zeus and Chrisean and all that. And they're blinded a little bit. Now, Sis has got these stiletto thigh-high pumps on, these boots. She kicking at the air. I'm going to put the picture up of that, too. She kicking at the air. All this shit's going on. And what is Chrisean doing? She in the corner smoking a blunt. She in the corner smoking a blunt. Child. So the mom finally gets everyone calmed down. And we go for a take two. Take two. Let's try this again. Everybody sit down, be calm. Let's see if we can talk this out like grown adults. The sister gets emotional. She starts crying. She says she misses when they were kids and doing things like kids would do. She said, you know, I miss when I'd fall asleep and I'd wake up and you were drawing tattoos on my arms. And she says, you know, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you and the journey that you're on. And I'm like, you know what? This is what y'all need. Like, this is what it's about. This is what it's about. Like, enough with the tough shit. Be vulnerable. Cry it out. Talk it out. And be real. Because a lot of times in families, and particularly Black families, and I can say that because those who don't know, I'm half Black. My dad's Black. My brother's mixed. I come from a very blended interracial family, Black and white. But I do know in Black families, all families in general, but in Black families in particular, it's taught to, you don't talk about your feelings. You know, you don't be vulnerable like that. Toughen up. Keep a rough exterior. Don't let them see you down. Don't let them see you cry. Keep the poker face on. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was brave of the sister to finally say, you know what? I miss when we were kids. I'm happy for you. I love you. I don't want this to happen. I'm like, this is what I want to see. We can fight all day long, but the fighting gets draining. The blood, the punching, the teeth, like when we resolve things and we come together as a family and say we love each other, it's, you know, it's just refreshing to see. And it takes some of that heaviness off of the show and it makes it a little bit more relatable. Because, you know, we all fight with our families and we hopefully make up with them. Blue steps up and he says, let me apologize, which I thought was huge of him. And he apologized to each and every one of them. And here's the thing, like, I don't know, something about Blueface I really like. I know he has a very bad reputation, bad boy persona. You know, he's hit women. I get that. But I feel like deep down there's a good guy there. I really do. He seems like a good dude. Like when he's sober and just talking to people, he seems like a down-to-earth, cool-ass dude. And I don't know. I hope we end up getting to see that at the end of all this. Now, did y'all see when Blue was, when, you know, they resolving all this shit, they apologizing, and Rock is on Blue's shoulders, and she's rubbing on his neck, and the mom says, you know, am I mad at you that you got a weirdo rubbing on you while I'm having an intervention? It's not funny. It's not a game. And I'm just like, damn, we getting somewhere, Mom. We're getting somewhere. Everyone's apologizing. Let's leave the passive-aggressive digs out because Chrisean could have spoke up and cussed her out. But I'm proud of Chrisean in that moment because she zipped her lips, smiled, and played along to get along, because it's not the time and place to do it. They're trying to mend their family right now. But I did feel like it was a little, the mom should have left that out, you know? Because what did she say? Am I mad that you got a weirdo rubbing on you while I'm trying to have an intervention? Like, why are you gonna say that? Like, why? We're getting somewhere. But I will say, Blue gets up. He hugs his entire family. It's a great moment where they all forgive one another. And the mom, I give her this. She walks over and she embraces Chrisean. She hugs her and they hug for like 20 seconds. She sits there and she holds her. And as much as the mom probably can't stand Chrisean at times, that's going to be her daughter-in-law. And I'm sure she has love for her. And as a 50-year-old woman, you know, she's lived. She's got wisdom. She's not 21 like Chrisean. And it's not fuck you forever. I think she loves her. I think she sees a lot of trauma and hurt in this girl, and she's trying to be there for her son and her daughter-in-law, soon to be daughter-in-law, whatever, the best way that she can. So, you know, this is what I'm talking about: progress, positivity, results. You know, did y'all see the tweet that they put up? They put a tweet throughout every episode. They put up a tweet from Blueface or Chrisean. And one of the tweets that he put up said, "It's giving that my mom want to be my girlfriend or something." And I'm like, what? Like, where are you getting that from? And if y'all are going to post that tweet, production, give us the receipts as to why he tweeted that. Because nowhere in this have I gotten that his mom wants to be his girlfriend. No, your mama's giving you tough love. Your mama's telling you, I'm your mother, and if you talk down to me, I'm going to smack the shit out of you. You know, she's doing what a mother would do. Now, has she made the best decisions? No, not always. She could have done things differently. But I don't think your mama's trying to be your woman. I really don't. I really think she just wants what's best for him deep down, honestly. Let's see, where are we at here? So we get a scene with Blueface and Rock and his mom and sister out by the pool. Blueface takes his mom off separately and he leaves Chrisean with his sister. And one of the things that Blue talks about is the fact that his mother stayed at his house at times when he would have a bunch of girls over or he would get ready to throw a party. And he says that, you know, he would tell her, look, you need to get a room or whatever tonight because I'm having people over. And the mom says, you know, Mom says, why didn't you, you should have told me that. He says he did. Mom says he didn't. You should have told me, hey, Mom, I need you to get a room tonight. I'm having some girls over. But my thing was with that whole situation is your house not big enough to where Mom can go to her room up here on this side of the house? You can be partying downstairs or out by the pool, and she can be up here minding her business. Like, that's what I would do. Like, if I was them and my mom was living in LA with me, I'm gonna be like, hey, Mama, I got some dudes coming over, or I'm having a party tonight. You can stay here, or you can go get a room, whichever one you want to do. My mom would probably leave, but I would give her the option, unless he's just got a smaller spot that we don't realize. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that situation? Would you let your mom stay if you had a big enough house, or would you want her to leave? Because my thing is, he said at one point, he wanted, what if I want to have 10 girls come over and give me a head or whatever? Go to your room. Your house is huge. Your house is huge. You act like you didn't never fuck in your mama's house growing up. Like, boy, come on, man. I don't know. Maybe his relationship with his mom is different. Now, the blogs did report that Blue kicked his mom and sister out after an altercation. So apparently they were living with him out in LA for a while. I think probably when his relationship with Chrisean got stronger and bigger and they're popping and they're all over TV, I bet you that's when he was like, they've got to go. And I bet you it was more so Chrisean. She probably didn't want them there. Blue says he gave her money to get a room, and she says, yeah, and you threw it on the floor. I'm not going to pick up some money off the floor. That's disrespectful to me as a woman. And I agree with her. And as your mother, you don't say, get out of my house and go get a room and throw some money on the floor. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pick the money up. But that's your mother. It's disrespectful. Like that's something you would do to a stripper. Like just throw some money at them. It's I see where the mother was coming from. It was degrading for her almost. Um, let's see. Do I really want to talk about that? You know, only thing I'll say about Chrisean and the sister when they had their sit down was I noticed that the sister came in very positive. She's smiling. She's got a good energy about her, and it just seems like Chrisean doesn't want to look her in the eye. I mean, even the sister said, "Are you gonna look me in the eyes while we talk?" Like Chrisean's just got this energy about her where it's just like, I'm just here for the check. Like, I don't really give a fuck about y'all, whatever. And I can see the sister and the mom trying. Even the mom comes into the conversation at one point and she's smiling. Hey, how are y'all? Am I interrupting? Chrisean still's not looking at her, not looking at either one of them. Again, I don't know the history of them, what's happened. Maybe there's more underneath the surface that we do not know of. And that can explain why Chrisean is possibly acting the way she's acting. I don't know. But from watching this episode, I feel like there's fault on both sides. I really do. But I feel like Blue comes from a good family. I don't feel like his family is just some leeches that are trying to leech off him and ruin his career and they're jealous of him. I don't think that. I think they're happy for him. They want what's best for him. But I feel like at the same time, Blue has been blinded by love and pussy and he's choosing his girl over his family. And that's just what some people do. Some people say, go by the Bible. The Bible says God, woman, and then children, and then family or whatever. I don't know. But I know at the end of the day, I know one thing. When your boyfriend or your girlfriend leaves you hanging high and dry, your family's going to always be there for you. Most of the time, if you got a good family, your family's going to be there for you. So think about that. I mean, at the end of the day, they hug it out. I don't think everything was ultimately resolved, but I know one thing, like my mom and I have had some really bad fights. And afterwards, I always feel so bad. And I don't feel better until we resolve it because life is so short. We don't know when our last breath is. We don't know if we're going to wake up tomorrow. So these petty arguments and shit like that, it's nothing when it comes down to just loving each other at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Blue's mom encourages her to take her and Blue to counseling, and Chrisean says, what the fuck is a stranger gonna tell us? And we have to stop thinking like that. Like a lot of young people have that mentality, and older people, especially older generations. What the fuck is somebody that I don't even know gonna do for me? And that's the thing. Sometimes you need somebody that you don't know to talk to you because they're not biased. They don't have any connections to you or your family or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So they can give you the raw, unfiltered, unedited truth and tell you what tools you need to move forward and have a healthy, successful life because they're trained to do this. Regardless of if they know about you or not, that's what they're there for, to get to know you and help you navigate through those issues. A stranger can tell you a whole lot more than someone on your inside circle because they're, like I said, they're going to tell you the raw truth. Now, so other than that, I'm going to wrap this up by saying I do wish these scenes weren't so long and drawn out. We know Zeus is famous for that. They'll give us a 30-minute scene, and I'm just like, can we please cut this shit down a little bit? I do wish we had some confessionals so where we could get more of an insight of what's going on. The little confessional interviews, y'all notice they don't have those in any of the episodes. Nobody's the talking heads. They're not explaining the story as it goes along. I wish we had that. For instance, sneak peek of next week's episode. Blue and Chrisean end up going to therapy and they go speak with Dr. Ish. I believe he's from Marriage Boot Camp. He's one of those TV therapists. He's a real therapist and counselor, but he's on a lot of different shows. They go speak with him and I'm just like, I already know that entire scene at the therapist is going to be the entire episode. We're going to drag that entire scene out and make it one episode. And it's like, we don't need an hour episode of them in therapy, Zeus. What are y'all doing? That's why I give every episode a 4 or a 5. Maybe a 6. We've yet to get higher than a 6 because, like, yeah, that's a whole other video. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel by hitting the subscribe button right below this video. Also, hit the thumbs up button and like the video. That's going to help it be shared throughout the YouTube community to where more people like yourself can find my channel and they can join us, join the squad each and every week. Last but not least, join the conversation. I want to hear from you. Comment below. Leave me your thoughts, opinions, reads, viewpoints. I want to hear what you think about this episode. Whose side are you on? Chrisean and Blueface, or Blueface's family, the mom, the sister, and the brother? Whose side are you on when it comes to that? I would love to hear from y'all when it comes to that whole situation. Also, if you haven't already, go check out my recap of the Baddies West super trailer. The Baddies West premieres next Sunday. We will be back here recapping Baddies West episode 1, as well as Chrisean and Blueface Crazy in Love episode 6. So if you're interested in the super trailer, go check that out. I love you guys for watching. See you next time on Damien After Dark. See you.